What's PvP poppin', battlers? Welcome back to another Silph Arena Season 2 video. My name's Justin, aka JR Skater, and boy am I stoked for the next video after this one. This one too, this is important. But the next video, I'm going to show you how I went 5-0 in my second ranked tournament of the season, and which brought my ranking up to top 5 in the country. And at one point I was 10 in the world, and I think I dropped to 14, but so excited and stoked and happy about that. I really was not sure about this cup, to be honest. It was just, I just felt like it was so much guessing and luck involved, and but I was able to navigate my opponents and kind of predict their leads, and that went a long way in helping me win. And we'll talk about that in the next video. But in today's video, I want to give you guys some of my experiences so you can look out for it for your tournaments. So if you are going to be playing a tournament coming up, even in future tournaments, if you're going to play PvP in the future, you need to watch this video, because there's things to look out for that could happen to you that could prevent you from winning your match, even though you should have won. So I'm actually proposing an idea, and I want you guys to comment below what you think of this idea. And if you're a tournament organizer, please comment, because your input is probably more, not important, but it's like everyone's is important, but you have more influence on what can actually happen in the tournament. So if you're watching this and you're a tournament organizer, please let me know what you think. And I just want to bounce these ideas off you guys and see if you like it. So I have here a yellow card. And why do I have this here? Well, I think that every player should have one of these in a tournament. And here's why. So if you watch football, you know that when a play starts, there's like refs everywhere watching, right? And then if something happens during the play, what do? They throw flags. They make it rain flags all over the place. It's just flags fly into the field. And that just signifies that, okay, like something happened, play the rest of this play, like let it just play out how it does. And then we're going to review the replay afterwards and then make a ruling on it. And I do think that we severely need that in Pokemon Go PvP, just because it's kind of there right now. Like, you can submit videos to the tournament organizers, but there's no really clear protocol what to do as a player to kind of just make the tournaments go more smoothly and to get more fair outcomes. And so what I'm proposing is, let's say where's my phone? It's right here. So let's say you're battling, right? So you're battling and like you notice some lag, or you notice a switch trade glitch comes up. You just take your card and just slide it to the middle of the table, or just put it there, and that way your opponent knows that, okay, we're going to play this match out, and we're going to submit the video for review, because especially if it's like the middle of the tournament or the end of the tournament, that's where it's really the most important. If it's like the first 5 seconds of the tournament, or the 5 seconds of your game, and it lags, I think it's pretty easy to talk to your opponent and say, let's restart, I'm lagging right away. That's a pretty easy situation to handle. But in the more gray areas where you feel like you should have won a match, and that the lag really helped them avoid losing, I think having a card is easier to just slide on the table. Everyone knows what it means, instead of saying, oh, hey, I'm lagging. What should we do? Should we restart? Like, having that conversation during a match is just weird and it's distracting. And I think this is a pretty good way of just kind of solving that problem. Just throw it out so everyone knows, okay, we're going to play this out. The game's almost over. We're going to watch the review and see what happens. And then the tournament organizer should have the authority to say, okay, player A was clearly going to win this match. He gets the win. Or player B clearly wins the match, or she was ahead, so she should get the win. I think that's the way it should go. And so, comment below. Do you like that idea? I think these are pretty easy to find. They're everywhere. A tournament organizer can just bring a stack of like 30 or 40 of them and just hand them out before the tournament starts, and then just have it. Okay, so I'm done talking about that. Let's get into the 3 instances that happened to me and see if you guys recognize it, or if it's happened to you. But if it hasn't, just make a note of it, because if it does happen to you, I want you to be prepared for it and know how to handle the situation. So let's get right into the video. I'm going to play the first video here. This was from my Sinister Cup. So if you've seen my Sinister Cup recap video, you probably saw this already. But here there was just a second of lag. The bites weren't going off, but I don't think it really affected the match too much. The glitch that happened is going to come a little bit later here. So I throw I try to get the power buff here, and it doesn't work. And then I'm going to put in Steelix, so once, let's see, when does that happen? Oh yeah, so didn't shield against the power-up punch. Most likely never have to shield against Mawile and Sinister, not that that's relevant at this point in time. But, so let's see what happens. Okay, so now my Steelix comes in, and we're getting close to where the glitch happens. Okay, so, again, never shield against a Mawile. Don't need to do that. So I go with the crunch here, and I think once I knock it out, this is where the glitch happens. Okay, ready, and boom. Okay, so I call this glitch the Houdini, because like the magician, the person just pulled a magic trick on you and their Pokemon straight up disappeared. And so I straight up got Houdini'd here, and I didn't know at the time there was a Medicham there. And in fact, this is why, I'm going to reach off camera here. This is why oh shit. So this is why I actually use wireless earbuds to play these tournaments from now on, because if that happens, and I'll post a picture of this on the screen here so you can look at it. If that happens, you can still hear the noise of the quick attacks coming in as soon as they switch it in. And then, in fact, that actually happened to me again in the Ferocious Cup that I won. My second opponent Houdini'd me in the first round, but luckily because I had my earbuds in, I could hear the mud slaps coming in, so I knew she had a Rhyhorn in, and then of course I saw it, and then I knew what to do. And I actually won that match, even with the Pokemon being disappeared. So that helps. So definitely invest in some earbuds, because hearing the sound, in fact, if they switch in, even if there's no glitch, if you're waiting for them to switch in for you to make a decision and you hear like a couple water guns coming out, you can quickly switch and get out of, danger sooner than had you just been waiting to see the Pokemon come in. So I would really recommend doing that. If you don't have it, just turn your sound on. Maybe go somewhere where you're not bothering people and turn your sound on. That's how you should handle those situations. But always record your matches. In fact, I should have mentioned that at the beginning. Definitely always record your matches, because you have to record them. If you don't have a recording, you don't have proof. So if something happens, they're not really going to take your word as much unless your opponent is really fair. And, we're going to talk about that in the next video, in the next clip, actually. So let's just get into the next clip right here, and we'll talk about what I mean. This is why you should record your matches. My opponent was very, very lucky that I'm a nice person, and I believe in being fair, but it did cost me this match. So this is what happened. He switched into Drifblim, and I take the ominous win because I wasn't expecting a Shadow Ball this soon, and I decide not to go for the bait. I decide to go for the hard-hitting Hydro Pump, and there's no glitches here, and I actually knock him out. But right after that happened, he paused and said, "Hey, I meant to shield that, and I tapped shield and it didn't shield." And he didn't have any video evidence of that, and I've never seen that glitch before. So, I asked him, I'm like, "Are you sure you really hit shield? Like, is that literally what happened?" He said yes. He insisted that he tried to shield and it wasn't shielding. And so, I wanted to be fair, and I agreed to rematch. And of course, he beat me, and I lost that match. And so I think in that case, I talked to a lot of people about that, and they basically told me, "You're being too nice. You should have just played it out, and then if you won, sorry for the other guy." But, I would have hated for that to happen to me. But without the video evidence, though, I'll never know if that really happened. I'll never know if he maybe tapped just like a millimeter too far to the right and missed the shield, which would have been user error, which is not my fault, or if it was an actual glitch. So we don't know without the video proof. Okay, so definitely got to pay attention to that. Now the last one is probably the most important reason why you need to have the yellow card, because it's going to be in a situation where you need to send your video for review to see what happens. And my mistake in this tournament was, this happened a little while ago, earlier in the month. My mistake was I kind of, in the heat of the moment, I didn't think to wait. I agreed to a rematch right away. And then when I looked back at the video, I saw that I clearly 100% was going to win. And so I basically got the match kind of stolen from me, because I agreed to a rematch and then I lost, and we reported the outcome when I should have won. So let's see what happens. And I want you guys to watch this video very closely. to see if you can see like where I was in terms of winning or losing. Okay, so I have Skuntank, Lola Ninetales, and Umbreon. I'm gonna hit play here, and let's just go straight into the battle. So I lead with Skuntank. Whoops, sorry, my phone dropped. I lead with Skuntank. He leads with B-Barrel, and I decide to stay in because this is, it's not a horrible matchup for me. I decided to go for a Sludge Bomb because it hits harder. It does about 10 more damage, pretty much even on the energy efficiency aspect, and he doesn't shield. So I'm off to a great start, right? I decide to shield to preserve my Skuntank just in case it has a Ninetales behind it. And so I decide I can feint this guy down. So right now I'm in a really good spot. I'm down a shield, but I do have energy advantage and 3 Pokemon. So I decide to go for another Sludge Bomb and watch what happens here. He doesn't shield again, so it didn't do a whole lot of damage, but it does 19 more damage than Crunch, and so that was a really good move to land. And then I decided to go Crunch here and watch what happens. He shields, so we didn't see the animation, but he did shield there. And so now I baited his shield, I hit him with the harder move. Everything's going my way at this point. Like, I think I'm pretty much a shoo-in to win because I have a Ninetales, and you saw I just took I did a couple charms. He switches to Ninetales, now we're mirroring. Now here is where we lag. Now watch very closely, look at my HP compared to his HP. We're about dead even, and once it stops lagging, you see we both go yellow at the same time. So this is where we lag, but at this point, the game was over, because I had a shield, he had a shield, I had energy advantage. Even if he shielded that Psyshock, I would have shielded his, and then he had Umbreon in the back, and I had a fully healed Umbreon in the back. So there was no way. The only way I was losing that match, literally, is if I just threw my phone out the window and, like, made a cup of coffee or something. Like, that was the only reason I was going to lose that match. We were mirroring with shields. We would have simultaneously KO'd most likely. And then I had 100% Umbreon versus his 25% Umbreon. So I won that match, right? But because I didn't, like, say, hold on, let's wait to rematch. Let's talk to a tournament organizer. I agreed to the rematch, and then he won. And even though I talked to him afterwards, he really, I guess, didn't care. He was just like, what happened to me before, so sorry. And so I lost the match. And so, it was a good learning opportunity for me. If the roles were reversed, I would have gave him the match. In fact, I've done that before, where we lagged and I just kind of watched the video, and I was like, you know what, you would have won. And so I gave it to him. But not all players are like that, and so you have to protect yourself. You have to say no. Say no to the rematch. Say, you know what? Let's take a break. I need to look at the video again. I want to see if I clearly would have won, and then watch it. And if you think you clearly would have won, say, you know what, I think I won that match, so I'm not going to do a rematch with you. I'm going to submit this video to the tournament organizer, and we're going to let them decide whether we rematch or not. And so that's what you should do, okay? And that's what I'm going to do going forward. And at least it wasn't a ranked tournament, so I'm glad I learned this lesson now instead of in a ranked tournament. But yeah, so that's the third video, or that instance that happened to me, and I hope this helps you guys. If you have any questions or comments, has this happened to you before? Share your experiences, because I do want to start a dialogue about the rules. In fact, in a future video, I'm going to make a video about the rules, and because I have a proposed suggestion to make the rule better about the lag issue, and I really think it'll make PvP stronger and more legit and just more fair for everybody. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked it, and please like the video, and please share with someone that you know who's going to do a tournament, because we want to get the most fair outcomes possible. So please, thank you, and share and like and subscribe, all that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.